review, and it will be up on our Facebook page, and we'll post it on your Facebook page and our website so people can review the interview. But now is time for what I like to call a little shock and awe. Because I think there's a lot of people listening to this that whether you need to lose those last couple of pounds when you hit the brick wall, right? And people like yourself who felt they needed to do a little more, they need to know some basic information that says, well, I don't need to do that, I can do this. So let's put this whole thing into perspective, okay? Because a lot of people are oral listeners, a lot of people are statistical listeners, they need numbers, they need facts. So let's talk about obesity in the United States is no hidden secret. We know that there's a reason we're called the Fat Society. You know, we sit back like fat cats and take it all in, and there's a reason for that. There's a huge percentage of our population that are obese in comparison to other parts of the world, right? Share those numbers with us.
Okay. Well, in the USA, there are 33.8% people that are obese. And just to compare it to the other parts of the world, Japan is only 1.5%.
Wow.
And in Europe, it's 6.6%. So we are so far above the rest of the world.
1 in every 3 people.
Yeah.
Put yourself in a room with only 3 people, and 1 of you is considered obese.
Yeah. And obese just means, you know, over 30% or 30, the BMI of 30
right.
is what the obese means.
Right.
So along with that, 68% of the United States is overweight.
And BMI is body mass index, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's one of the measurements that doctors or trainers or things take in terms of your body
right.
mass to see where you are. Okay. Now, let me ask you a question, a little sidebar, but you know those doctors' charts that says based on your age and height and everything, you should be at an ideal weight? To me, I think those need to be updated.
Well, you know what, they do, and you know what, when I first started out, you know, with this, my bone size, and they do all that kind of thing, I thought there is no way that I can get down between 128 to 143, or, you know, that
right.
part. But I got down to 131. So I think that if people are focused enough, they really could get there. But I think it just depends on your age, too, and that kind of thing. Like,
and I think your body structure, because I looked at those charts for me. I won't divulge my age. My weight is higher than I want it to be. But let's just say that I'm supposed to be under 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think I was born at under 200 pounds, to be honest with you. And I would think me being that thin, I would look anorexic.
Yeah.
So for me and my body size, going to that chart size, I think for me is overdoing it, that people would look at me and go, hey, you ill? You know? So that's why I say I think ideally people should get to a range where they're comfortable under the guidance of a medical professional, perhaps suggested range. Yeah. But ideally in your own mind, where it is that you want to be to where you're comfortable with yourself.
Yes.
And not overdo it. Because there's the other side where people get way too thin when they lose weight, right?
Well, yeah, and I talk to a lot of people that I'm like, okay, so how much weight do you feel that you need to lose? And even if a woman weighs 250 pounds, sometimes she's like, I just feel good if I lost 30 pounds.
Right.
I'm like, okay, well, that's good
exactly.
for you. You know, so then we help them lose that 30, and then they're feeling so good that they're like, ooh, maybe I should lose 20 more.
Just get them started.
Yeah, so just get them started and, you know, and get them focused on going in the right direction.
Now, of all of the people that we talked about, you know, people losing weight, the numbers of obesity, etc., we talked earlier that nearly 100% of the people who lose some sort of weight generally gain it back and then some.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
I've done that so many
Yeah.
times.
I could sit here and tell you, I've been on Weight Watchers, I've been on the Mayo Clinic diet, I've been on lean cuisine, I've done it all. And in the back of my mind, I've just sort of come to the realization that if I watch what I eat and increase my exercise, I have a good chance of losing some weight. Not everything I want to, but at least get it going in some rate. But some weight is not enough to get down to an ideal weight to make you totally healthy, right?
Right.
So that's where a program like what you've done comes in to kind of get you past the should lose weight to the ideal weight for health reasons.
Yeah. And
now, did you have any other health complications while you were heavier? No diabetes or anything like that?
No.
This was just pure weight loss?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, you know, you have diabetes, for instance, because of weight gain, but as soon as they lose weight, now the diabetic problem goes away, which is a great side effect to losing weight, is that many medical conditions start disappearing.
Right.
So you had none of that.
I didn't have any of that.
Did you get a physical before you started your program? Or did you just, with the doctor, or did you just start it?
No,
Okay.
I just started the program.
Okay.
So
you just knew.
I recommend that people do if that's
Sure.
what they would choose to do.
Okay.
But I love it when people are already eating healthy and exercising and that kind of thing, and they get down to a certain weight and then they're like, oh, I can't get this last 20 or 30 pounds off or whatever. Because when you go in and do that cellular cleanse, it just pulls it all out. And I just love to see people's face when they're like, oh my goodness, I finally did, I finally did this. So we work with so many people, on their weight loss, from people that just need to lose 5 to 10 pounds all the way up to, hundreds of pounds.
Sure.
And it's not all about weight loss, like I said. We have so many people that are on it that are, trying to build their muscle, and bodybuilders and athletes and triathletes and Ironmen and.
Now, with weight gain, as going on the other side of what I just mentioned, with weight gain, there's a chance of many people becoming a lot unhealthier than just the weight gain. Diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, et cetera, et cetera. I got to imagine there's quite a few dollars being spent on these kind of diseases for disease prevention. Do you have any numbers on what is spent annually or whatever?
I do.
How much is spent on this stuff?
On health-related costs that are related to obesity,
Right.
it's $147 billion every year that is spent on.
Repeat that number again.
$147 billion.
Oh my goodness, 147 billion on obesity-related diseases.
And what kills me is that some people are like, really, how much does that cost? I'm like, well, I don't know, but how much do you think that a bypass surgery at the hospital costs?
Sure.
Because this is just preventative medicine.
Wow, amazing. So, that's just some backstory on having more weight than you should, and that's crazy. Jill, I want to thank you for coming in. Your story, again, can be found on www.facebook.com/transformation celebration. You dropped 131 pounds.
And 141 inches.
141 inches, and you went from a 22 to a size
4.
Size 4. Wow.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, one thing that this taught me is the fact that after 24 tries, you have to have patience till you find the right program that's right for you.
Yes, you
Okay.
do.
And whether you're, as I like to say with another one of our shows, whether you're 17 or 77, there's no better time to get healthy than today. Actually,
Absolutely.
yesterday was probably a better way, right?
Yeah, everybody wants it yesterday.
We would love to have you back on again in the future. We'll follow your progress, perhaps.
Yeah.
Give us some updates. And in the meantime, again, go to that Facebook page. Leave a comment for Jill. She will get back to you. That is Jill in the profile picture, the before and after. She'll give you more information about the program that she is on. And who knows, maybe we'll have a contest that whoever signs up, we get them to come on Vegas Unwrapped and tell their story.
Oh, I would love
How's
that.
that?
That would be awesome.
Great.
Let's do it.
All right, you got it. It's a deal. All right. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped. I'm Aaron Phillips. We want to thank again Jill Berth for stopping in and telling us her story. 131 pounds, Hawkeye. You can't beat that. And I know that's probably more than you weigh when you're soaking wet. We'll be right back on Vegas Unwrapped. Don't go anywhere.